I'm Kate and I'm the co-founder of Crisis Classroom. 2 years ago I got involved with the refugee crisis and wanted to see if there's anything that I could do to help people with my educational background. So I launched a crowdfunder to buy a double-decker bus and to turn it into a mobile classroom and to take it out to the jungle in Calais. I did that. I went and lived there for 6 months and I worked alongside the refugees and developed a way of teaching, a methodology and resources to support them with their learning so that when they settle somewhere they could begin to get back onto their own 2 feet and start again. In October last year the jungle closed and so I came back to the UK and began the next stage of this journey. One of the things I realised in Calais was that as fabulous as a double-decker bus as a classroom is, it can't solve all of the problems. So we needed to rethink what we were doing to make sure that we could reach more people and be more effective. So what we developed is Crisis Classroom. So we train volunteers to work as educators and we also have lots of different ways of creating classrooms. And one of those is with a pop-up inflatable classroom. So we can reach the places that double-decker buses can't reach. So we can get into city centres, we can get to people who are living in rural communities and even reach the people who are living in the woods around the edges of Calais still. And for this, in order to do this properly, we need our own transport and that's why we want to get a van. It's going to be a mobile stock cupboard, it's going to be the transport for the teachers and it's going to house the classroom. So we'll be able to drive a very ordinary looking van into the centre of Calais, into the countryside, wherever we need to go, and then out of the van will come all of the teachers that we need. Out of the van will come the classroom and the pens and the pencils and the resources and all the things we need for the lesson. And once the classroom is set up and established, the van can then take learners out into the community. So we can bring people from right on the edges of humanity back into the real world. So we can take them to the supermarket to do the shopping and practice their language, and we can begin to introduce them to the new communities that they're living in. What we're asking for is £8,000 and that will enable us to reach thousands of refugees in the UK, in our local community and also across the water in Calais and northern France. We need roughly £5,000 to buy the transit van. We need about £1,000 to insure it for the year so that all of our trained volunteers can drive it. And then we need to transform the inside into a mobile stock cupboard, if you like, a little mobile school. No donation is too small. And every penny that you give us will enable us to take more teachers directly to the refugees who can't at this moment go to school. One of the things we learnt during our time in Calais was that the refugee crisis is not going away quickly. It may not be on the news anymore and you may not be aware, but since the jungle has gone, it's even harder now for people to exist. And education, reaching them is just as important as it has ever been. I can promise you that every penny that you can donate changes the life of the person that it reaches because it provides teachers, it provides resources, it provides learning, kindness, humanity, and when people are really in need, those things are priceless.